Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. For those of you who know me, you might know me as Doc Fizz, and I'm a chiropractor. I've been a chiropractor since way back in the mid 80s, and I love working with people. That's all I've ever done my entire adult life. And my story is really simple. I got involved in a really horrible motorcycle accident, and as a result of that, I couldn't practice chiropractic any longer. That was almost 20 years ago. So I got started working with the network marketing industry, and I found Sisel. I found Sisel, and I'll tell you what. Uh, excuse me. I don't think I'll ever look for another company. It is absolutely the best. If you haven't looked at Sizzle, you really need to take a look at it. We've got some of the most fantastic products. We've got a compensation plan that knocks everything else out of the ballpark. We picked the best of the best parts of all the compensation plans that are out there, and we put it together into one. This video isn't about compensation, and so I won't get into that really strongly, but I'll just say you really need to look at it if you're looking for a way of making an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. There's people making over $100,000 a month in the Sizzle compensation plan. So seriously, folks, it's something to think about. Today, I wanted to recap. I just got back on Sunday night, late Sunday night, from Mower Mountain, the 2024 Mower Mountain, and what a fantastic event it was. I wish you had all been there and had the experience. If you've never been to Mower Mountain, you really need to plan to go. And there's no other way of going, in my opinion, than getting the company to pay your way. And you do that by winning the competition, and the competition is going to be announced. It hasn't started yet, but I'll tell you what, if you go in your back office right now, you can buy a ticket for Mower Mountain for next year. You get it at a discounted rate, and I've already planned on purchasing mine. It's going to be at this discounted rate for the next, I think, 2 months, and then the price gradually starts to creep upwards. I'm going to go, and you're going to commit yourself to going if you buy your ticket early, and just really plan on it. You're going to figure out a way. And they're going to have a contest for those of you that are in Australia and New Zealand. For those of you who are in Europe, they're going to have a contest of their own just for your country to get you there. So think about it for next year. Here's the deal on Mower Mountain. You get to hang out with people that are like-minded. You get to hang around with people that have the same energy as you. People that want to see Sizzle grow. People that want to build their Sizzle business. And people that want to have fun while they're doing it. Like Tom Mower Sr. used to say, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And that's so true. That's so true. I haven't gone to Mower Mountain now since 2019. Of course, because of the pandemic, there was a couple of years where we didn't have it. And then my mom passed away, and we had a couple other things that happened, family events that happened in June, family reunions. June just gets to be a jam-packed time. So what I'm going to do for next year, they've already got the schedule for Mower Mountain. I'm just going to throw it at my family and say, hey, don't plan any family events this particular weekend because I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be in Utah attending this event. I think it's that important that I got to start planning on it that far in advance. And that's what I'm going to do. And I think we should all plan on doing it. Let's have a large group from our organization out there. This year was me and my friend Don Olson. He was there, and we brainstormed. We put together some things on what we're going to do. We set our goals. We're going to be accountability partners to build our businesses and how we're going to do it. And we're going to try a couple different things. And I'm going to share that along with all of you, because I really think that I can't get where I want to be unless I help you get to where you want to be. That's the whole beauty of network marketing. And so that's how that goes. But the first day I got out there on Wednesday. long day traveling through airports, and delays. Of course, there's always delays flying from one small airport, and then having to make connections. And I mean, I hate flying because of that. I'd rather be driving my car somewhere. But you know, I had to get back so that I could be with my dad uh, this week. And so I'm really going to try and buzz through this thing so I get it done, get it out to all of you. And if I skip some things, I apologize. This won't be my only video, but I got out there late Wednesday night. There was a couple people that hanging around the lobby of the hotel when I got there. It was after 10:30 by the time I got to the hotel. I talked to a couple people and basically we went to bed, got up early on Thursday morning, and we had a shuttle going from the host hotel out to the ranch to Tom's ranch where his mansion is, and Tom Senior. And they had a lot of different things going on. You could participate in a lot of different things. They started the day out with a relay race that was put together by Milo. And I don't know, my computer just popped up and said there was an update that needed to go on. But okay, so the relay race came through, and then after that there was a lot of different events going on. You could the staff at Sisel were driving these side-by-side ATVs, rip roaring up the side of the mountain way back in the mountains behind Tom Senior's house, which is cool. I went for an ATV ride, running the ATV down through the creek, getting wet, getting splashed with mud. If that's your thing, it was really cool. You could go for horseback rides. They had horses there. They had events for the kids, so it was a family event. You could bring your kids out there with you, and it was a family event. So they had events for the kids. And then they had some shooting, and I know some of you don't like the idea of that, but you know, it's part of the culture of living out in the mountains, you know, that cowboy type thing. So they had some shooting. It was all controlled, target set up, and you could shoot small caliber rifles, or you could shoot some shotguns at clay pigeons. They throw them up and you shoot at them. They had fishing in the pond. Tom has raised some big fish in there, some trout and salmon and things like that. And of course, you don't get to eat them; you just catch them and throw them back in for the next group that comes in. And then they had some jumpy gym type of things where you could go in there and you know, kids events types of stuff like that. They had some hiking going on. They had other things that you could do, but it was just really a day of fun, right? A day of fun. Get to hang out with some of those friends that you've made over the years with Sisel, and do some things that are fun, reconnect, rekindle those relationships that maybe, like in my case, it's been a few years. So when that was all over, they had a big meal for us, a cowboy type meal with brisket, cooked brisket. Oh, it was good. Some barbecued chicken, all those sorts of things, really good. Then we went back to the hotel. They shuttled us back to the hotel, and really got to hang around with some friends again that evening. That was the first day. The second day, they came and picked us up with the shuttles. This is on Friday now, and we went over to the Mower Mountain or to the Supernaturals manufacturing. And they divided us up into groups because we have one large group, and you just really can't tour that place in a large group. So they broke us up into smaller groups of, you know, 15 to 20 people. They took us around. We got to see where they quarantine the raw ingredients, where they bring them in. We got to see where all the products, the raw ingredients are stored. And then they showed us how they manufacture the products, you know, from the grinding the pills, mixing the different ingredients, putting them into the capsules. And then we got to see where the products are liquefied, and the coffee roasters. I mean, once you see all of these different things, you realize why. I mean, it's so important that we manufacture our own products, because there's so many things that could go wrong along the way. And how many companies out there, if they're manufacturing your product, they really don't care, right? Oh, it's in there, you know. But is it really? And that's the whole thing. So with Sisel, because we make our own products, Supernaturals makes our own products. It's controlled. We know exactly what's in our products, And we can guarantee that it's actually guaranteed for 2 years. If that bottle is unopened, if that seal isn't broken, they'll guarantee that the ingredients are the same now as what they're going to be in 2 years. That's important. That's important. That's important to me as a doctor, as a self-proclaimed scientist. I love that part of it. I love explaining that to people, because if you go to one of the local department stores and you buy your products there, how do you know? Well, you don't. And you can pretty much, I can guarantee that what's on the label probably isn't what's actually in the bottle. And as I'm going to explain when I talk about the skincare products, that's important to know. That's important to know what's in there, and what's not in there. What's not in there. Sometimes it's more important to know what's not in there than to know what's in there. Anyhow, so we did the manufacturing tour, and then they took us up to a place called Top Golf. If you've ever experienced Top Golf, basically it's a indoor golfing range where you can grab some clubs and you can swing, even if you're not a very good golfer like me. But there's a lot of people that had never played golf before. They didn't know how to swing the golf club. They didn't know the first thing about it, and so we got to experience that, and that's where we ate. And then when that was all over, they hauled us back to the hotel, and we were on our own that evening for dinner. But around the hotel downtown Salt Lake City, there's a lot of places to go eat. We went to a really nice place and had a burger. There was a group of us that ended up there, and just again worked on rekindling those relationships, and found out that it's not just you. It's not just you against the world. Sometimes, yeah, like I live up here in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm really the only one in the area that's doing the Sisel business up in this area. I've got people who take the product and they count on me to use the product for their health. But really, as far as building the business, it does feel like it's me against the universe. And so it's nice to get down to Utah and find out that there's a lot of people around the world that are building this business. And there was people from Europe, and there was a bunch of Japanese there at the event. Very, very, very cool. If you haven't experienced the Mower Mountain, you need to try and plan on being there for next year. I'll be there. I'd love to meet you there. I'd like to hang out with you, and let's make this thing happen. But so that's what we did on Friday night. And then Saturday morning, we got up, went downstairs and had a cup of coffee. Ended up sitting through meetings all day where they talked about the new skincare line and the new toothpaste and just really stimulating and motivating types of things. But they covered the science, and we were there all morning. And then we broke for lunch. They served us a really, really nice lunch, and just unbelievable. The food, great. And then and while we were having lunch, they were setting up the store where you could buy your products. You could get all of your Sisel products, so you didn't have to pay shipping, and you had it right there. But the most important thing is we got to buy the new skincare products. We got to experience the new skincare product. And for those of us that were at the event, we got a discount on it. Plus, you didn't have to pay for shipping and things like that. So really, really cool experience being there for that. And I'm going to make another video on that here in just a little bit. But I don't want to make this video really long. So this is just kind of my recap, a really quick recap of everything that happened at Mower Mountain. And then on Saturday night, we had what they called the gala event. And basically, it was just a beautiful meal with steak or chicken. But I had the steak, and it was wonderful. And we had asparagus, which happens to be my favorite vegetable. So I was really happy with that. Asparagus is only in season, this time of the year. Then it goes to seed, and it doesn't taste very good. But at least the wild asparagus, I go out in the woods and I find it growing, and I grab my own. That's why I say it goes to seed, and it isn't a good. I'm sure you can buy it in the store all year round. But at the event, then everybody got to go up on stage. I'm 4 stars, so I got to go across the stage and shake hands with all the mowers and all the staff, and You know, we've got a new 10-star in Sisel. Laura and Dom Bacini made 10-star this year. There are only 10 stars in the company, but there was a lot of people. In order for them to be 10-star, they had to help people in their group become 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 7, 8 stars. And so there was a lot of people that went across that stage. And what I like about that is that, you know that there's other people that are growing immensely. So whatever your excuse is for not growing, there's other people that have experienced it, and so you could talk to them. Like I sat down and talked to Laura, and I said, how many hours a day do you put into this? What are you doing during those 10 hours a day? How many days a week are you doing that? I got to talk to people who are 7 and 8 stars, and I asked them, I said, what do you do? And I get to sit down with them, and I get to rub elbows, and bump shoulders with them, and what are you doing? And I got to share some of my ideas of how I'm going to do this thing, because my goal is by next year, I want to see myself going across that stage as a new 6-star. I want to jump from 4-star to 6-star in the next year. I know I can do it. I just got to put it in there, and I've thrown it out to all of you. So now you can hold me accountable to that. I got some work ahead of me. Definitely got some work ahead of me. So I'm going to be doing some new things. I'm going to be trying some new things. You'll see me on social media doing some new things. And if you want to grow, get a hold of me, and let's figure out a plan for you, because what you do is going to be different than what I do. Somebody said, well, I was talking to a gentleman at Mower Mountain. He said, well, when I get to know all the products, I'll get started. I said, that's the last thing you want to know. That's the last thing you want to do. And I'll tell you why that is. Because we've got so many products, and by the time you get to know them all to where you feel like you can, the science behind all of them, we're going to change the formulation. We're going to make it better. So now you got to go back and you got to learn about the new ingredient. So you're never going to know all about the products. What I'm going to say is learn a few testimonials. Have your testimonial of the day or of the week or the month that you share with people. And because people want to hear, what has the product done for other people? Is it safe to take? Science was one of the classes I remember in high school. There was only 2 of us that took high school chemistry in my high school class out of 20 kids. So 10% of us took high school chemistry. The other, the other 90% did not. They did not, and that's true in life. People don't want to know that stuff. You might think that they're really impressed because you know it, but really, bottom line is they want to know: is it safe? How much does it cost? And will it work for me? And really, in a lot of cases, we're finding out that how much does it cost? That, for a lot of people, isn't even really that important. If it works, they'll spend the money on it. So here's the deal. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself that if you're a 1-star, by this time next year, you'll be a 2 or 3-star, right? Figure it out and lay it out. Lay out your plan. If you're a 3-star, how will you become a 4-star? If you're a 4-star, how will you become a 5-star? And maybe that isn't important to you. That's cool. Make a goal of how many new people are you gonna introduce to, because that's something you can control. How many new people will you introduce this to? And if you say, I'm going to introduce it to 1 new person per week, just go ahead and make sure you do that. At the end of the week, if it's Saturday afternoon, you realize you haven't introduced it to 1 new person, run down to the local convenience store, grab somebody and say, hey, I found a new product that I want to show you. It doesn't matter if they become members of Sisel. Your goal is, what you control is that you introduced it to a new person. They might think, oh, who's that crazy guy that just introduced that product? Must work if he can go and talk to somebody that he doesn't even know. And really, folks, however it needs to be done, you'll find a way. If you decide that you're going to do it, you'll find a way. So that's my video on the recap. I came back on Sunday, and Tom Jr. gave a really good end of the night talk and motivational. We had a motivational speaker there. It was a gal who in high school, it just seemed like she said everything was going for her. I mean, and nothing could go wrong. She was a barrel racing champion in high school, and her life was just set. She got involved in a car accident, paralyzed from the waist down, and she didn't know what she was going to do. All of a sudden, she realized that if she pushed herself a little bit, she could get back into riding horse and becoming a barrel racer again. So they put her on this up in the saddle, and they seatbelt her in, and she's back to being a barrel racer. And you'd think, was she racing against other paralyzed horse riders, barrel racers? Absolutely not. She's competing against people with two good legs. She's competing with people that are healthy, and she's doing really well. But she decided, with everything that's happened to her, to go out to the world and share her experience. And that's exactly what we had on Saturday night. She shared her experience with us, and it was awesome. It was awesome. For those of you who are looking at my forehead and saying, what is that? Well, Tuesday, the night before I went to the event, I was changing the brakes in my pickup, and the wrench broke, and I was pulling on it really hard. And when the wrench broke, it slammed into my head, blood everywhere, and yeah. So I had a big gash on my forehead when I went to the event on Wednesday. It's healing up nicely. This is actually about a third of the size of the rip into my skin. So, yeah, there we go. Anyhow, folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to my recap of the event. Again, my name is Dr. Kurt Fiznick. You might know me as Doc Fizz, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the company that I represent. I love representing this company, and so we'll go from there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.